This is the Poddy with Serene
and Pearl.
Get it right, Poddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 400th episode of the Trim Healthy Podcast. What's up, party people?
Please scare me. Did it for real? Yeah.
Oh, I was ready.
I was not expecting that. Because I was just so mesmerized at Danny doing the intro. He was using a special finger hold he doesn't usually do.
Welcome back. Did I raise pinky?
Yeah, you were doing this.
You know, you get to raise the pinky when you're done 400 podcasts.
There's confetti in your hair. I cannot believe it, guys. We are sitting here after 400.
How many people do 400 podcasts? Heaps of people?
Most.
Most? Like most pod people?
Most
continue to
podcasters
400?
do 400.
No, real talk. Most podcasts, I think, die after, is it like 60 days? It's really short.
I would like...
Arden knows.
Oh, I say they actually say top 1%. If you do over 29 podcasts, you're in the top 1%.
Over 29 podcasts puts you in the top 1%.
Because we'd like a little bit of glory today.
Yeah,
Toot our own horn, right?
400.
Like, we may not live to 400, but we did 400 podcasts. What are you doing? Fixing me.
I don't know. I guess it goes.
I heard a guy on the internet the other day saying that the only reason we don't live to be 400 is because we all just assume and believe that we'll die in our 80s.
Well, I must. Then I'm
But
going to be.
you know what?
120.
Also, some people smoke crack.
Yeah. That little final piece was like.
I feel like God was saying yes.
I feel like I would like to say some things about our podcast and acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Even though it got ousted by Huberman from the #1 spot health podcast.
Hey, Nate, can you bring in our trophy? We need our trophy.
We need the
on
trophy.
The set.
Yeah, we do.
I feel like it's overtaken for other reasons because we're much longer lasting.
See?
Ain't no Huberman's done 400 podcasts.
No, he's way behind.
Did Hube receive one of these?
Hube did not.
Oh.
Get out of here, Hube. Hey, you look classy, though.
And do you know why he didn't? Because that says 2018 and he didn't win no 2018
In fact, we
top
beat,
health
we
and
beat him.
wellness. We did.
Yeah,
I don't think he was around then.
he was.
Hey, really?
Yeah, he was wishing that he could
Yeah.
have a good podcast at the time.
But enough about him and more about us.
What about us?
I would
tell.
like to say that yes, Danny, you look excellent. I
do.
like the
Thank you.
necklace on the outside, and you look like you've just come from your Miami house.
He sprayed on a bit of a tan, I think.
He didn't spray on a bit of a tan.
And then Serene and I look excellent because we rated.
Our daughter-in-law's wardrobe.
Yeah, so this is Esther's dress.
Yes. I wasn't
Is
going to
that
wear
Esther's
it.
dress?
Yes, this is Esther's dress.
She's the author of Trim Healthy Indulgence.
Yes, so this is a very indulgent wardrobe. She wears it, I think, without this skirt underneath, but I did that for the special
Modesty Awards.
Yeah, modesty
For the
awards.
PG version.
And also, I had another dress, but Serene said I
It was like a librarian snuck out for the night out. It was like, great grandmothers going to a wedding and going to do some dancing with her grandchildren.
Someone knits a bit much kind
Yeah.
of vibe.
I
Yeah.
thought I looked extremely hot.
She called it red. It was dark chocolate maroon. It's more of a brown.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
like you can almost smell the library.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, but librarians are sexy. We have a sexy librarian who's a very hot, trim, healthy bummer.
Oh,
And
you do.
so, I mean, we don't want to down the librarians.
So you
And
did your hair
also,
to benefit the librarians.
yeah.
I
I'm
heard
pro-librarian.
that was a little bit of a dig.
Anyway, with the 400, we could just sit here and riff and bring nothing and talk about ourselves and why we're so great to reach 400 and why our audience is so great to hang with us. Because let me talk about them for a sec.
Do it.
Yeah, we have to talk about the loyalty. 400.
And that's a lot of loyalty because honestly, some podcasts, when I listen back, I'm like, what are they talking about? We're jolly great, right? We bring the meat. We're kind of funny. We're quirky. And then others, I get it. Like I listen to our, I don't know when this is launching. One of the other podcasts is like, girls, stop. Give each other a break. I was like feeling like one of the people listening. And yet
You're
I thought,
upset?
here they are. No, I wasn't upset. I still loved us, but I'm like, they still tune in for another
they do.
few
for another
hundred.
beating. For another nervous system beating.
It was a nervous system beating, but it was good meat.
For some dysregulation.
Yes.
And then Danny, at the end of the podcast, Danny,
What
you were
about it?
sitting like this for people not watching, I'm about to just slack down to the seat and just like go like a worm. Okay, this was you.
Oh, my nail came off. Oh my.
So that was you, and I thought we really sometimes don't bring it, and yet our audience comes back.
They do.
So thank you, loyal, trim, healthy crazies. I mean, you put up with a lot. We bring you a lot too.
We do bring you a lot.
It depends upon the jolly day.
It depends upon the season. I haven't brought my teleprompter here for a while.
And some people are happy about that and others are really missing it.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite podcast that you remember? It's your personal
Do
favorite.
you know that someone asked me that today?
Yeah.
And I was trying to think of all of that, and then what came to my mind was truly the career-ending podcast.
What was that about?
When we really tried to behave and brought
that one.
what some
You're
people
distracted
wanted.
because you're doing art.
That was our most popular podcast.
Danny, you're like
Look at this, though.
decorating your Celsius can with...
I mean, that's
the
a product.
decoration.
It's really kind of ADD, and can you put it down
Yeah,
and really
because-
focus on the 400 episode?
Yeah,
Totally.
like this is special. I've never put on fake nails.
Yeah,
Like I put it on
Really?
for the show. I was putting it on at Pearl's house just 15 minutes before we walked up, and I didn't want to do the chemicals and do the glue. So I brought these like
What'd you do?
little Healtho little tab things that go underneath it.
Oh, okay.
They don't work.
Yeah.
Well, so these are what? The brand is Static Nails.
Oh, they're awesome.
And even the glue is supposed to be toxic free, but because
I
she's
don't
so
trust it.
crunchy, she wouldn't even trust the toxic free glue. And so she just tried to.
Like double-sided tape?
And then every
Stick
time
them
I
on
do
without it.
anything, a nail falls off.
Is it
I went to the
double-sided tape, though?
bathroom. 5 nails fell off.
But so people might not buy Static Nails, but if they
no,
put the glue
static
on,
nails are brilliant.
they might stay on.
Yeah, I love Static, that company.
Also, I
Static.
would like to say that we're both wearing fake eyelashes for this occasion.
Yes.
This is a big occasion.
Yeah, we are really bringing it to you today.
And Serene, would you like to share
mine
about
are
your
static.
eyelashes?
They come from the Static Nails company, but I really, really love them because I didn't have to wear mascara or anything, so it felt a little bit more crunchy. And I didn't use glue because the Static company, they don't use any toxins, and they have this eyeliner that has iron in it, so it's magnetic. And so on these very, very light lashes, they have slightly little magnets on it, and it went and it just attached without any of the bad chemical glue.
Because I've tried those magnetic liners.
But these are light.
And it didn't
These are
work for me.
featherweight.
Okay.
It works great.
And why would
Boy,
you
they
wear...
should send me a lifetime supply because we're promoting them and we're not even like going to be blessed.
Okay, so why, though, would you wear the eyeliner from them but not the glue from them on the
Because
fingernails?
Because glue is glue, you know?
Oh, so it's all a crunchy thing in your head.
Yeah.
Layers. Okay. So my eyelashes are clumps. They're like segments.
Sounds attractive.
Some women go a
segments.
bit hard with the eyelashes. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about?
I'm on the verge, I think.
You know, I didn't notice they were
Okay.
fake till you said something. So no, I'd say you're not on the verge.
Oh, okay, good.
But you know when you can really tell?
Yeah, when
and
they
it-
stick out about 3
I know
inches.
the ones, please don't be offended, listeners, the airport workers.
Yeah.
Yes. The ones
Many-
beyond the kiosk that take your bags.
They're always in that
of them
airport,
do.
aren't they?
Many
Yes.
of them do. It
It's
is.
always like they've put 7 pairs on and they don't take the one off before. Yeah.
But mine are segments, and I'm in a dilemma, guys, because I've been wearing these about 3 weeks now because I was gearing up for this podcast, just prepping myself, practicing, right?
Yeah.
Practicing with the eyelashes.
Yeah.
And I've gotten used to the look, and I like myself better with fake eyelashes.
She's like, this is the new Pearl. This is what I'm doing from here on out.
But
We're losing about 5,000 listeners.
no, we already lost several because we do our own not Botox, but Tox. So don't worry. But anyway, they are not crunchy. I don't know. It says paraben free, but they might have formaldehyde. I don't know.
But I've got you covered because I've been really, really researching just in case I decide to not like these ones one day, but I really
Yeah.
do. But there is a company called True Glue. I think the overall company is
Yeah.
called True. And then True Glue is their very healthy eyelash glue. It has nothing, not even a form of even healthy glue in it. I don't even know how it sticks, but all the reviews say it's better than the junk stuff and it's amazing and it makes your own eyelashes grow. So I'm going to be ordering.
Okay, so these are Silly George segment lashes, but they're already pre-glued, so they're so easy. I don't use the tweezers. I just put them on, and they last about 5 days, and then they go off.
And you can wake up all pretty.
Yeah, I can.
So you're
wake
giving
up.
recommendations. Women are buying eyelashes.
Lots of women are buying eyelashes
I just
these
thought
days.
you were doing some special thing, but this
we're
is
just
a thing.
late to the party. You know, Serena and I, we were just doing it in honor of this day,
Yeah.
Danny.
It's great.
This day.
But
It's a-
why?
Yeah,
but
but
I
we'll
don't
be
understand
bringing
why.
these eyelashes to the party from now on.
Do your eyelashes fall out with age? Is that
No.
what-
No.
We're just trying to like.
enhance ourselves as we get older.
Yeah.
We're trying to enhance, optimize.
Not a lot of young people wear these, Pearl.
I know, it's just, this is the season for eyelashes, I feel like, with women. You know,
Nice.
like, I don't know. There's just like things that go around, but I feel like we've even might have some meat.
Oh, we do. Pearl and I were thinking, what are we going to bring? It's 400 podcast. Like, we could bring something really epic. We decided to bring the topic, just keep doing it, is what we'd like to call. I don't know if it's going to be the clickbait.
I think that's bad.
It's a bad clickbait, but
Just
that's the subject.
because
Just keep
I mean,
doing
it's-
it, whether you're inspired, whether you're uninspired, whether you can't be bothered and you wish you didn't have to, but you just go ahead and do it anyway. That's the story of this potty.
But can I undo you for a second?
Yeah.
Because just keep doing it is a little bit like Nike. Just do it.
Oh, I didn't even think that.
I mean,
I
I
promise you I
immediately-
wasn't trying to take you off, Nike.
I was instantly on Nike.
Yeah.
Just keep doing it.
Yeah.
You
No,
put
that's
the
just
keep.
You're like, yeah, it sure has a ring to
and
it.
the ing. Keep and the ing.
Isn't it just do it?
No.
When Pearl and I first came to America,
Yeah, you
we're
said
really like
keep doing it.
really rabbit trailing. But when Pearl and I first came to America, we did not have green cards and we couldn't work. We couldn't get any money, cash, you know? So we went to this little Christian modeling company
Mm-hmm.
and we got some we did little ads, little things, little jingles on
Do
the
we
radio.
have those anywhere? Because that
but
would be
Pearl
nice.
had to practice for this little Nike thing.
Yeah.
And Pearl, remember that you had to do you remember it? Because you memorized it for days in front of the mirror.
I do, but what's the point?
And you were just talking about Nike, just do it. And it reminded me of when you were practicing it. Okay,
Okay, so that was a rabbit trail that really didn't bring any. It was just a memory.
Well, Pearl, that's okay. This is our 400th Jolly podcast.
So we're allowed to say
Are
whatever
we
we
not
want?
allowed to bring a memory?
Yeah, but
Yes, we are.
Just keep
Yeah.
doing it.
Just keep doing it.
it's a bad title.
Whether it bombs or it just is a success, you just keep on keeping
I
on.
think what you were trying to say about the meat of this podcast is what's a better clickbait? Just
Don't
turn
come up
up.
with better. Don't come
Keep
up with better.
turning
Don't
up.
come with better. That's bad.
Get her done.
Just keeping on.
What?
There's a reason why Nike said just keep doing it. It's the
They
best
did.
one out
They
there.
said just do it.
Just do it.
And that's why I brought the memory of you memorizing the Nike thing, because I was going to bring the right title, which was Nike, Just Do It.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Thanks for tuning in to the Trim Healthy podcast, and we hope you have a great day.
Listen, but there is meat here because
I think.
have you felt inspired to come every Tuesday?
No. See, you guys get these podcasts Wednesday. We turn up every second Tuesday. Of course, we've got some other ones that we do with Meet the Experts, and we
So we're pottying every week.
turn up. We meet Danny.
I'm
and
inspired to come every Tuesday.
But you don't bring nothing, Danny, apart from an NSV every now and then. You don't bring the meat. You just bring the flavor.
No, he brings wonderful poetic insight.
Ah.
Okay.
We
All right.
bring the meat
He
and
brings
he brings
the talent.
The tagine.
Yeah, he brings the tagine. We bring the avocado. He brings the tagine.
We bring the meat, Serene.
Pearl, you don't put tagine on meat.
Yes,
You put it on avocado.
Don't you,
If you're
Danny?
Mexican, you do.
On meat?
On chicken, especially.
Okay.
Not on steak.
Pearl, you're feisty.
I'm just
today.
going to say meat is our thing, right? Meat means a topic of depth. So that's what we bring.
This is the 400th episode. We don't
We're
have to bring
changing
meat.
it. From now on, whatever we have a topic, it's avocado.
No, I was just saying it today. Oh my goodness.
Today is avocado. You want to wrap it up again? You want to wrap Poddy up
Appreciate you listening to the Trim Healthy podcast for the 400th episode.
again? We should never wear sequin dresses ever.
I feel like the decor is better than the content right now.
Okay, let's fix it.
Yeah.
Listen, it's true, okay? Like brushing your teeth. Do you feel inspired to do it every morning and every night?
Never.
I don't.
Sometimes I do if I got a new licorice flavored Dr. Brommer's toothpaste.
Licorice?
I love anise, you know.
I don't. Anus. What is anus?
We don't even have our normal shtick. We've got nothing today. We're hating everything each other says. It's so funny. Can we start again with this podcast?
No. You have to just keep doing
And
it.
everyone in the room, not one person is laughing. They're all got their heads down. It's really vibing me out.
No, some of them
Arden warns you.
Okay, Arden even walked out of the room. He's so embarrassed. of
No,
us.
he's not embarrassed. He's taking a phone call. He's got his own
Oh,
business now with Undefeated Men and all.
Oh my goodness,
Done
JD's
makeup
got it.
everywhere.
JD is like this. This is JD if you're watching on YouTube.
Everyone else is literally on their phone. And what about you two? You're over there going, it's the 400th episode and get ready. We just want you to just keep doing it.
No,
Still
we're
don't
going to
bring
bring meat around this. If we can really just present it the way we want to, then we're going to open it up. I really was trying to open up when I talked about brushing your teeth. There are things you do in life that you're going to end up doing in the hundreds, gazillionth, billionth time. They're worth it. But you just have to plod along, whether you jolly well feel like it, whether you're inspired or whether you're totally uninspired. Sometimes Pearl and I are like chafing at the bit. Boy, do we have some avocado to bring.
She's just really laughing at her. She's really laughing
This
at her
podcast
own
has
mouth.
become an example of just keep showing up.
Yes, because
Like
you're
that.
gonna bomb
That's
sometimes.
what I'm trying to say.
No, like
You're
the
gonna
content
fail.
today.
But sometimes Pearl and I call each other and she's like, do you have something? And I'm like, I was really hoping you'd have something. And she's like, well, I was really hoping you'd have something. And other times we've got so much, but we can't bring it because we're bringing it in
I
a
can't
book
believe-
and we have to wait.
I can't believe how convincing you are to talk people out of listening to the show right now.
Listen,
You are nailing it.
the point
Everyone is tuning out.
is,
We haven't brought a point to the health program
the
yet.
point is this, even in your health journey,
Yeah, save it.
show jolly up. Whether you get in the gym
Oh, this is
and it
what
doesn't
is.
work out that great.
Show jolly up. Thank you. None of this doing it Nike stuff.
Just show jolly up.
Show jolly up. Is that what I said?
Yes, I love it.
Show jolly up. Like sometimes you get in the gym, you will epically go like, I feel strong. Like, wow, I'm awesome. And then other times you're like, I can't even lift the dumbbell to the bench. let
Hey,
alone
do you
curl
ever
it.
get in your gym and it's as if you've lost your power?
Yes.
I did that yesterday.
you
I was
ever-
like, why am I not? I was supposed.
Have you ever come to the podcast as if you've lost your power?
Yeah, you did today.
You've lost all of your influencing rights.
Y'all did.
I know what happened to us today. It was all the emphasis on the eyelashes and the sequins. We lost our power of our message.
Man.
Yeah, because we were on the outside and not the in.
So we got too peripheral. We got consumed by the jolly looks.
And we're
God
sorry
is-
we brought you guys along.
We had a bit of a fall.
But guess what? We showed up.
Yeah.
And even
Yeah.
though we're failing here today, we will not let that keep us down. We will show up.
this
Next
podcast
Tuesday,
needs to be about 18 minutes.
So what we're saying, in a way, now I look at it, it's really kind of
It's very profound. This is
No,
one
it's
of the
very
most
quite
profound.
self-conceited in a way too,
No,
because
it's
we were
not.
saying, "Hey, we did this right. We just showed up, even when we had to bring it or not. Now you do the same."
It's not self-conceited. It's teaching by example.
Okay, I like
I'm
that.
just trying to say you feel like for 2 months you're showing up in the gym and epically not having any power. Just keep showing up. One day you're going to feel it.
Is there a physiological reason why I showed up yesterday and could not lift the weights that I earned the right to lift over the past 2 months?
Yes.
I found that to be
It's a
very
nervous
real.
system catch up. Sometimes you've been training hard. You need to take a deload week. And you're just to the point where your nervous system is shot and you really need to pull back a little bit.
You know what else? I
You
forgot
need to catch up.
I forgot to take creatine for like 2 weeks.
I
You
mean,
think
that
that
could
could be
be it
something?
too, or you didn't have enough carbs, you didn't feel your body, or you just woke up that day and your body
It's
just
fighting something you don't even know it yet.
Yeah.
Or Brett Contreras says, he's like,
What's Brett say?
he says things like this. He's like, how many workouts are you going to have in a year? And he just spouts off a guessed general number. And he's like, 3/4 of those are going to kind of be okay. You know, half of them may stink and 1/4 of them are going to be epic.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so
I
this
feel that
is-
way. I
yeah,
feel that
that
way.
hits me
And
about
guys,
right.
when we talk
Yeah.
about going to the gym, we all mean our home gyms. We call them gyms, but they're our home place to work out.
Yeah, it's way
I mean,
cheaper if you buy your own stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, some people love going to the gym, but I want to
Oh, I
bring it
hate
to
it.
the eating program where a lot of people are too.
Yeah.
So, sometimes you're not going to wake up or go through that day feeling strong, with strong sense of purpose about how you're going to feel your body. You're probably going to feel weak and like you deserve to cave. You deserve that Dunkin' Donut. Why do you have to think so much about food? This is too hard. You're going to have all those thoughts and you're going to feel like also you're a failure because you messed up. And you can look at your fails.
I'll admit it, for the past 2 weeks, I was there.
Yeah.
I literally totally fell off. I was just eating trash. I mean, it was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, and then that is going to happen too. But it's when you bring it again and you just jolly show up. Whether you have the impetus, whether you have that, I feel strong today, I'm not going to cave to the Dunkin', but you're just still there and you just drive past. And you're not going through the drive-through whether you feel weak or you feel strong.
I got back on it today with a smoothie.
There you go.
Because it was easy to make. And it was yesterday at the end of the day, I was like, I'm not even eating. Like some people are like, I'm eating all the wrong things. For me, I wasn't eating.
That's you. You just
that's what
don't
I
eat.
do. That's my, he's freaking out emotionally. I wasn't emotional though. For 2 weeks, I've just been off game.
You went to the former Dan, the former one
Something.
who didn't think through his
But not the
daily
sick-minded
meals.
one. It was just the habits
Yeah.
one. I went into
Habits
those
one.
old habits.
But it's so good that you're back. Like you said, I came back with a smoothie.
I came back
you
this
just-
morning.
You just shove the shame and you just jolly well. What did I say? Show up.
Hey, you know what brought
Shove
me
Jolly
back?
up.
Show jolly up.
My wedding ring was slipping off.
Oh, that's scary.
It's the weight thing.
Hey, let's go there. You just show up every morning. You show up married. You show up committed. You show up loving. Whether, I'm in an epic honeymoon season myself. But maybe you're in a dry season. Maybe you're in a season where you just got stuff to work out in your marriage. Just keep showing up.
Oh, I think it goes beyond
just
that.
jolly show up.
I think you can get in these seasons where you're quite disgusted with that person. It's
I'm
just
in a
like,
great season.
huh?
Yeah.
I'm in a great season. But my point
He
is
wasn't
would be.
saying for you. He was just saying for people.
Oh, I thought he was talking about me.
You're really proud of your season right now.
No, I'm just trying to say.
I know
I
Lisa
don't
looks across the room sometimes and is like, oh, made a mistake.
I'm just trying to say, I don't want to come off when everyone talks about marriage. I don't want to just bring the bad stories and the sad stories because people need a little hope.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm trying to say 27
diggity.
years in, I'm
No
in
diggity.
an epic space. Just
Yeah.
for the encouragement out there.
I am too.
Yeah, and we've been through stuff.
Junk.
Oh my goodness.
I've
We've been
been
through
through
stuff.
Yeah.
But we're fantastic. And so hope out there. But guess what? Even in relationships, whether it's not even marriage, maybe it's just in relationship with your children or whatever, mother-in-law, whatever it is, you just keep up, jolly, what did I say? Show up.
No, show jolly up.
Show jolly up.
Was it Show Jolly?
It was show jolly up, and it felt so good at the time. Now
Very weak
it's
sounding.
it's a little weak, but I do want to talk about failures.
Yeah.
We came today, thought we were going to be hot stuff, and we obviously failed. But I think this is a big part.
You know
of
what it is? Is that we don't work well under pressure. You know how when people are like, oh, Danny's here. Hey,
Yeah.
be funny.
We're underdog types.
I'll leave the party. I
Yeah.
will leave your party.
Yes.
If you do that. I'm just
But if you
done.
just come in, just under the radar,
You got to
it's
just
like
tee
you're the
me
funniest
up.
guy in the room.
You got to just
You
if
know what
I
it
sit
is?
down at your table,
Yeah.
you set it up. Don't tell anybody we're doing anything.
Like the gold confetti and I love them, Arden, but we actually, I don't know, something happened to our brains, our shtick.
It
Hey, I
triggered
think
my
we're-
PTSD.
I think we're doing fantastic.
No, I went into gunshots in Memphis.
But I do want to talk about failure.
Seriously, I was upset for a solid 6 minutes.
Failure.
Is that why you were making paper mache?
I was
out of
playing
it?
and I just sort of reverted into this
true.
child
You
who was
did.
just upset and you ever seen a kid
Yeah, that was Danny. I was wonder why is he not even in the podcast?
I
He's somewhere down here.
No,
You
I had a
can
moment.
continue to show up with this outfit, though. I like it.
If you rewind the show, you can see me in a moment. If you want to see what PTSD looks like live, skip back.
I do want to talk about failure. Oh, I do think we had a moment of failure.
Oh yeah, I
Okay,
totally
let's
do,
admit it.
especially when you hated everything I said.
I
How's
know.
that going to go over
She
well?
was nervous and she got abusive.
I did. See, that's my thing. I abuse my sister, and it makes me a little more comfortable.
Oh, poor
But I do want to
Serene.
talk about this. Failure
What about it?
is a big thing to set people off course and to abandon ship, right? Abandon your healthy journey because, like Danny, you said you were just 2 weeks making wrong, crazy decisions.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing, I think it's one of the biggest reasons we can quit our health journey. Or for me, you know, the health journey of eating is down for me, but that gym journey, you know, that building muscle journey, I still feel like I'm a baby in it. So if there's weeks where I just like, oh, I don't get to it, or life happens, or I just feel weak, you know, I want to stop too, because the failure mindset is such a biggie. And
Do you feel that way? Like, I'm never going to build muscle? Is that one of your things? Like,
I
I'll
think
never
so.
get strong.
I'll never. And I look at people like Serene, and I'm just like, I'll never be that. I'll never.
She
be
can curl
that.
25 pounds.
Yeah, but I'm curling 15, Danny.
15.
I can curl 15.
For you?
For me, that's good.
That's big.
Come on, I'm a
You know
girl.
you're
and
amazing.
I'm an ectomorphic girl.
I
that
mean, if
can
I'm
curl
being honest,
15.
I'm working out with 25 pounds.
That's brilliant.
And it's hard.
Well, I'm just talking how many reps, though, you see, because you might be doing gazillions.
I'm doing 3 sets of 12.
You're doing amazing.
You're
That's
doing
good with
4
25.
sets of 15.
No,
Whatever.
I'm not.
What are you doing with 25 pounds?
I don't even know.
Speak it out.
No, I don't even know. Moving on.
Moving on, I want to talk about failure because I love talking about failure.
Yeah.
Because failure is where you get to another place of maybe failure again, but then you get to a place of non-failure.
Failure teaches you a lot.
Ah, it's so good. Keeps you humble, but if we let it, it keeps us learning.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, I failed in the most important things I didn't want to fail in. That's the stuff that hurts. Like the one thing I wanted to get right in the world. Fail.
But has it taught you? Has it made you a better man?
You know what? Of course. I think more importantly, these heavy failures that really hurt, and it's not because of me. I'm a personal failure. It's your family that gets hurt in the process. It's your kids that pay for your stupidity. And man, that the only redemption is that in these particular cases, our family legacy for generations to come will be benefited. You know, we've had, like, our children have grown up to institute change in our whole family legacy. So, like, I mean, we're kind of a first, we're one of the first, my wife and I, from both of our trees to bring this desire for large family community, for kids to have cousins and to grow that. And because, you know, that's part of, I think, where our country is suffering right now, is in this disability to produce lots of children, you know. And I know people get, you know, there's the occasional extreme, like, whatever ideas surrounding that. But for the most part, I think that our modern culture, it's like we're so fascinated with, like, experiences. Like, we want to travel, we want to get a Apple Vision Pro, you know, we want to have a certain car. And so we can tend to see children as the hindrance to those things. But A, they're not. You can have both. But B, if you have to pick,
Yeah.
I can tell you that the children will bring the real life experiences that you think you're going to get from those things. Those things are just fun, but thank you, Lord. But the but yeah,
That's like the gold dust, you know? With the
yeah.
pastors
Ooh,
say, ooh,
ooh.
there was gold dust.
yeah, I've left churches for that.
But Danny, you care, like, you've brought this, you know, you really care about your family life. I'd say even sometimes more than most. Well, some men don't express it maybe, but you really care and you have nurtured this thing in your family life, and it's what you've kind of sown into because you really didn't necessarily have it yourself growing up, so you wanted to build this thing. And yet you're saying here today, I've failed so many times. Yes, the things that we really want to grow in, we fail in. And yet what you're saying also is, despite that, you have created a new thing where the legacy will go on despite you failing and despite your kids seeing you failing. You're still going forward.
Yeah, and thanks to these failures, their children won't suffer. You know?
Yeah. And I love the whole, I mean, I don't mind talking about failure as long as it points to the main thing, and that's the epic comeback, right?
Well, that's why I'm talking about it.
And I'm not talking about marital faithfulness, by the way, when
Yeah.
just to be clear.
No.
Yeah.
You're the faithful Dan. You're the faithful Dan. That's what we love about you. But I love that whole thing about failure because it really is the catapulting.
Yes.
It is the pullback on the, you know, the rubber bandy thing. What do you call them?
A rubber band.
No, a slingshot.
Slingshot.
Yeah. It's the pullback on the slingshot to the incredible epic comeback. And I think every time you fail, you come back, like we were talking about, with more information and more of a grit and a Highland touch. And like, to me, I hear the bagpipes playing. Like, I am coming back with more grit for newness. Like, I like to learn from failures, but I'm not wearing them as my banner.
No, but I love failure because look, I love failure because to me it's such growth. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
It hurts for a while when you
Yeah.
realize, man, I failed.
Yeah.
But
I don't like it. I don't let it hurt too long because then that's just all.
I know, but the hurt for me in my life, at least, I use it to propel me forward.
Yes.
Because I look at our failures, Serene, and that's how Trim Healthy Mama was born.
Oh, yes.
Our failures in trying to eat the most ultimate way for mankind, we got in lots of different
Weeds.
We went into that vegan world. We went into that low carb world. We did all the different things of what man could say until we came at the end. Totally failures because we'd tried everything and we were burned and we were done.
Yeah.
And then there was something new and something that would stand the test of time. And it was this Trim Healthy experience, right? And now look at all the hundreds of thousands, millions of lives that has changed. It came from failure.
Yeah.
Jolly
100%.
failure of the most epic kind. I have to look at...
But we walked into newness.
Yeah.
You see, because the failure was like, oh my goodness, heck yeah, we're not going back there. That was, that was for yesterday.
Yeah.
Where's tomorrow taking us into the epic new? Yeah.
You know, in the voiceover world, if you're voicing over a commercial, they have something called a re-record. And the reason they do a re-record is because you didn't nail it. Like the whole production crew of writers and producers thought this ad was going to perform. Often there's no way to really know. They call it A/B testing. There's no way to know until you just record an ad and launch the ad. And then you get metrics back and you're like, this didn't connect with anyone. Like this didn't move the needle. Sales didn't go up. And they'll call you back in for a re-record where it's a new script, same product. Yeah. And, it's when you're in marketing and advertising, they don't even say the ad failed. There isn't a place for the thing called failure in the advertising world.
Yeah.
It's literally part of the process.
Yeah.
It's part of the data collection.
Yes.
And so if you zoom out, even in your own life.
That part of the process.
Ooh, this is good. This is good.
Yeah, I told you I bring meat.
The data collection.
Yeah, that's data collection. Your brain actually does that over time. You're actually, the heart, I think, experiences a failure because you were like, I wanted this and it didn't happen. But I think the older you get, the more skilled you get at turning it into just data collection and figuring out, like, it couldn't have been any other way. That's the only thing that encourages me with these like heavy familial failures is like, it couldn't have been any other way. I came in screaming hot off the streets of Memphis with this like gangster brain, like had to change his voice,
Yeah.
And so like, I have to zoom out and
You got to give yourself all that grace.
You have to, man.
We have to,
and
because
it's
God
so hard.
gives it to us.
The only visual I've ever had is my children is I have to say, how would you talk to your kids right now? How would you love on them if they reported the same failure to you? Oh man, I would sweep them up and make sure they knew that daddy doesn't even believe in failure. you know? And so I have to believe that God perhaps is more empathetic than I am even to sweep me up. Like you got to love yourself. You have to parent, they say parent yourself.
Yeah.
That's really hard to do.
I know. And it's true. I mean, I think about, well, maybe we won't be calling it failure. There's a new way to look at it, which is this data collection. And, you know, all of this to say what we're encouraging you guys in, because I know a lot of you are struggling now with just like feeling like a failure or feeling like you're not feeling strong in your health journey. You're wavering, you know, and we're kind of bringing this to you.
And it can be in your own emotional journey too.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be just whether you ate a salad or didn't eat a salad. It's also in your negative thought loops and things like that.
Oh, how about the negative thought loop of it's all too late.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all too late. If only I could have.
Yeah.
But now it's too late. And now my husband sees me this way and I'm that in his eyes. And you could just fill a book with evil little mantras that you say to yourself. I certainly have.
I know. And I mean, when we fail, I think, but everyone does it publicly to a certain extent, though. I think, you know, I mean, we fail a bit more publicly with some of the things we do. I mean, I think about, you know, the big Blue Butterfly Cafe we launched in Texas, and it was so epic and so huge, and we thought was such a good idea. And we rented that huge restaurant, and I mean, we hired partnered with two beautiful trim healthy mamas,
and
right?
they did such a great job.
And it wasn't their fault.
No, they were amazing.
and you know, just things were just too expensive and it didn't work out, and
the economy crashed.
Epically failed publicly. I mean, epically, and you know, and they're still our great. They're so amazing. Those two women. Yeah. And they're still our great friends. But you know, I look back and I'm like, man, I hated them to go through that with us, and then to leave their really good jobs and then come work for us and then be bereft. And I think they would say that it's all part of the journey, and they're so grateful for the experience now. But we epically failed in front of hundreds of thousands of people. We never lost the hope for that. And now, you know, our little cafe here in the wrong part of Hickman County, Tennessee is, you know, we're thinking about starting again, because if it can make it there, it can make it anywhere. And we've figured stuff out. We have figured out realities, and we have honed and we have trimmed and we have realized when we did that back then, we did it without, I guess, without a good picture. We did it with kind of brains that like everything works out for us rather than no, sometimes it doesn't. And but I think failing then just it kind of, at first it was ouch and hurtful, but now I think we learned so much from that that I think what we're going to do in future is going to be even better and more sticky.
Outside of business, is there something you could share that is more of a personal failure that you had to come back from?
Well, I mean, I think we've shared about our marriages here. I think I've failed so many times about being a know-it-all in my marriage, knowing things from my husband that I don't think that he knows as well for himself. And, you know, there were many years. I remember he said to me once, he said, and I didn't think I was this at all, because I thought a very kind, good wife. And, you know, he was kind of blessed to get me in a way, not conceited, but he would always say, oh, I'm so blessed to get you. And I married up. He would always say those things to me and I would laugh. No, you didn't, honey. But I really thought I was really quite a good wife. Until he said to me one day, and this was in recent years, he said, you are very controlling. And I was like, I'm not one of those controlling wives. You know, I'm not. I was like all defensive. And then little by little, I just saw my controlling ways, and I saw them, and they kind of started to unravel and come before my eyes about my know-it-all better sense than I thought that I had.
Is that common? Do you think women can struggle with that in their homes specifically?
Yeah.
That control thing?
For me, it was. And I have laid a lot of that down because I saw it for what it is. And I'm glad he said that to me. Yeah, so I failed in that, and I have learning to undo that. I think has been so good, so much better.
Has your marriage been better because of the failure for it to come out and learn?
Well,
Like, had you never been controlling, you know what I mean?
yeah, I wonder, but I feel like I'm more grateful to my husband that he just loved me through it. And, you know, on his turn, he's like, hey, I'm grateful that you love me through that. But I'm grateful that he loved me through that.
Serene, personal,
Oh, I have
shareable
so
failure.
many. They're not that shareable, but because
Come
they're
on,
not.
that's
they're
what I'm
not-
saying. What's a shareable? I mean, I've got my.
Yeah, I've got so many.
Come
They're
on.
just not that shareable because they all haven't come full circle.
They're still in the process.
They're still in the process, but
I love how dressed up we
epic,
are and how beautiful the set is for us to talk about failure.
Ep-
Epic
We're gonna-
failures.
Yeah.
I mean, I was young and you could say dumb and altruistic and thought, hey, I want to adopt 6 children in 1 year and older than my birth order. Bring it on. All they need is love. Thought love would conquer all, you know, and our story's not over with that. But, you know, in the eyes of the world, we epically failed because, you know, not every child is accounted for and you know, but we still pray for all of them. But it's not over yet.
Some of it was grand, right?
Some of it was fairy tale, and
but some of
other
it
that
was not,
from
and
hell.
very not.
But yeah, but I've learned so much from all of that too, and I think what doesn't kill you makes you stronger in the end. But
Would
yeah.
you turn the page? Because I know some of what you went through, and it was interesting to say the very least. Would you ever go back and say, I wouldn't?
No, I would do it
that?
all over again.
Yeah.
I'll do it all over again. You know, for the beautiful children that have chosen to stay connected with us. Oh my goodness, I'd do it in a heartbeat. But that's saying a lot. That's counting a cost.
Yeah.
That's counting an like.
What do you think? Even the ones that aren't with you.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
I do. I don't have any hard feelings against any of them. I just
Do you feel like they're better off though? Like you did pull them from a life of probably crime or prostitution.
I think there's some
Yeah.
are. I think some
Yeah.
are. That it's that they've got more opportunity here in
Yeah.
America, and I think a lot of it is just relationship misunderstanding, cultural misunderstanding, and things like that. So, some of them, you know, I would say came too late, left too early. But I would do it over again. Sure. Our marriage, I don't even know if I would know who my husband, the husband that I know today, I learned through going through all of that. Like, I'm like the rock that he was, like amazing. Just to hold me up emotionally when I just felt like I was just falling apart. I would not have known that rock.
You also
Had we
went
not
through
go
some
through-
rough times together through it all too.
Yeah, we went through. I haven't even told my best friends this.
Yeah.
Tell you, but I threw my wedding ring across the floor in one of these, you know, episodes because it was just this. It was so
You
emotional.
chucked a ring.
Oh, it was so emotional. We've been through some epic failures, but guess what? I love him so much, my husband, for the man that and even going through, you know, Arden's cancer journey, my eldest biological son, and for new peeps in the room, my son went through a 4th stage cancer battle. But I mean, I know the man that my son is today. I know, and then my husband walking us through that as a family. I'm telling you what, when you go through stuff, you learn the character of people, and it's amazing.
But it builds sometimes
yeah.
character into them too.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to have good character when it's not really being threatened,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes that's built.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When you're going through heavy stuff in your life, marriage, whether it's with kids or the government, or it's just the normal struggles of like every family, like you really need a zoom out perspective check. And it's so hard to do because when you're in the zone, you know, all you can think about is how the grass is greener somewhere else, and how this is how you feel trapped.
You want it to be over. You like when this is over, when it's all smooth again. Yeah.
Yeah, you just want it smooth again. And you know, the nature of reality is crest and troughs, you know. It's a wave function. I mean, our whole universe hinges on this.
Right.
And it makes perfect sense that literally every human that has ever existed ever, their life does this. You are never just, I mean, maybe there's one trust fund kid somewhere in the galaxy.
Probably, but they're usually in the, you know, they end up in the,
Psych wards.
well, no, they have to go get, what is it called? Decompress from the drugs or the alcohol.
Yeah,
Well, that's a psych ward for you.
Yeah, but when you're going through that dip, the zoom out perspective is so important, to look at your life as this arc rather than like it's Tuesday and it's been this way for years. Like, you know, I think game planning and taking action has always been for me the most sane thing I can do when things are getting really crazy. You know, what I used to do, because of bad religious teaching, is I would sit in a corner and I would wait, and I called it waiting on the Lord, but really I was non-active, and I was not taking action, and I wasn't brave enough to begin putting plans of action in place. So, you know, whatever it is, relationships, there's so many different things. You could bring in friends, you could bring in family. If that doesn't work, you could go to therapy. You know, there are action points you can do in these.
Well, no, that's so true, Danny. I mean, I have to say too, sometimes there is a beautiful thing on just waiting on the Lord and being still. And then there's that still small voice that gives us peace, but waiting to do that without, I see what you're saying.
I like to wait at the end of the day.
I think he was talking more of an apathetic wait.
Yeah.
Where he was just going to
100%.
say, you know, waiting for you to rescue me, Lord, but not
From
necessarily
9
put
to
anything
5,
action.
I'm game planning now, you know?
Yeah.
And then when the kids are in bed, let's go wait under the moonlight and trust and release and let it go and go to bed, you know, but game
I have
planning
to
is key.
constantly, like when I'm going through, you know, like you say, the peaks and valleys, right? And even the scriptures say, you live in this world, you will go through trials. But for me, I will get in just this angst state when I'm trying in my own strength, like doing all the things. I do believe we do the things. But to me, I just keep having to return to, you know, what Serene says, that country of peace that God has for us, or else I just get in this, oh, what if, and oh no, and I better, Pearl, you better. So I think that there's that good balance, not being apathetic and not doing, because I think like we're created to do, and our mum raised us, hey, you don't wait for things to happen, you make them happen. So there you go.
Well, you can
It's true.
hustle out of a rest.
Yeah.
Then you can hustle out of angst. You know,
Yeah.
but you can hustle anchored into rest, so that inside you're just a still sea. But outside there's some business going on.
Do you
You got
think
business
there's,
to take care of.
do you think you could say magical words like mountain be moved? Do you think there's,
Yeah, I
think
do.
there's anything to it?
I think words
I think
are powerful.
I
We're-
totally believe that. Well, the Bible said you could have said peace be still
yeah.
to the storm. I believe if it's written, I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, like some, you know, there's this view where, you know, like you can almost hope that there's a God listening who's going to be like, okay, I pick you, and then go do stuff good for your life. And then there's another view that you actually can say things and create and make things happen, like magically.
Well, it's whatever, you know, like Serene says. I mean, you know, Bible says that you can.
And there's
So-
favor of the Lord too. So
Yeah.
I believe in both of that stuff. I don't believe that I can say, hey, you know, red Ferrari, come to me. You know, I do believe that positive things can happen to people that have a positive outlook, because it's just the law of sowing and reaping.
Can you
But
say,
I just really do believe that there is favor on the Lord on those who obey him and follow his commandments. I just do believe that.
like, do you think you can say,
But it doesn't look like favor like we always think, is what I'm trying to say.
yeah, can you go and say like, stupid misunderstanding fog between me and my child, blow away?
It's whatever
You think it's real?
Why do you need to hear from us on that, Danny?
I'm just
Because
curious
if you
because
believe it,
I believe it.
then
I've talked something into my life before.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember saying to Pearl, I just feel like there's something between so-and-so and me. I just feel like there's something there. just doesn't feel the same anymore. And I built it. I built a wall between me just because I was worried about there being something, and I kept on going on about it and concentrating on it. And I just decided, oh my goodness, I built this wall, and I just decided to tear it down, and it's perfect now.
Yeah, so if we can tear down things, we can definitely build them too.
Yeah.
On the contrary, for positive, for negative. So yeah, Danny, of course I believe in what you're saying. I mean, every word is powerful that we speak.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've always, I've only recently started taking that type of, just experimenting with that whole thing, because, you know, I've heard my whole life about like prayer and it moves mountains and you can say to the mountain, be moved, and it will. And it's always just been like a cool, inspirational idea. But like lately, I'm just like, let's experiment. Like, can we really? Or is that a figure of speech?
No, I believe we really can. I mean, I don't necessarily know if it's a mountain, but it can be mountains, other things. It can be cancer mountains. It can be mountains of relationship issues. I believe it. But I don't think we have to rest it in God's hand, how it's going to turn out. Like how the outcome, how the move is going to look like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, because it doesn't always look like how we imagine, like zap, and it's gone, you know?
Like wizardry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not wizardry, but I mean, it's a quantum world. I mean, God created the quantum world. That's the way, you know, that's how God moves.
I believe if we took the Bible more literally, more powerful things would happen.
Yeah, I agree with that too. We're 53 minutes in. We started one way. We ended it differently.
Which means just jolly well show up, because you don't know how it's going to turn out. You know, and dig in and keep on keeping on, because you might think it sucks at the beginning and then it could turn out epic.
Yeah, it's a pretty good way to end.
Bless you all.